What's up, guys? Today we're going to be discussing the future of game consoles and what we can do moving forward to try to stop the all digital future. So, most of you guys know that it has been confirmed that Microsoft is supposed to be releasing a next generation Xbox console. It's supposed to be coming out in 2027. And of course, there's going to be a new PlayStation console as well, the PS6. But there's a lot of chatter going around about whether or not the next generation Xbox is going to be all digital. There's talk about it with the next PlayStation as well, but it seems more likely that Sony is going to support another physical media console and Microsoft won't. But I did some research before sitting down to record this video, and it looks like Microsoft is going to support physical media for at least one more console generation. The consensus I got from all the articles I read was that they're going to continue the same model that they did this generation. They'll release an S version that's all digital and slightly less powerful, and then they'll release the main console, like the X version, that's more powerful and it has a disk drive. So that's good news, I guess. But you guys, I think that we're all but past the point of no return with this. I think we are headed towards an all digital future. So if these rumors are true and there really is one more generation that supports physical media, I do think that will be the last one. And there are a few reasons for that. So number one, the Game Pass thing. I have been harping on this for years, and honestly, I can't even remember when Game Pass came out. Did it come out on the Xbox One, or was Game Pass released with the Series X? I'm not sure. Someone in the comments can let me know that, but it's been around for at least all of the Series X's lifespan. And I have been consistent on this saying I will not buy Game Pass. I have never paid for Game Pass until they made you pay for it because they got rid of Xbox Live Gold. But up until then, I never ever supported Game Pass. I never subscribed to it. And I always told everyone else, don't subscribe to that because you're feeding into your own death. You're feeding into the demise of the Xbox. And the response I would always get from people is, oh, well, yeah, I agree. I want physical media around and probably shouldn't support Game Pass. But, I'm just one person and they're not going to base it off of just me. Well, enough idiots all said that. And now Game Pass is the hype train with Game Pass is taken off. It's left the station. It doesn't look like it's slowing down anytime soon. And this is problematic for several reasons, you guys. If Game Pass wins the battle and physical media is defeated and it's gone, as soon as there's no more competition to streaming services for games, they're going to raise the prices on that shit. And not only that, when you're the only method of getting your games is through a streaming service, you don't actually own the games. So the developers could just remove the license and then boom, gone. The game's gone. You can never play it again. And not only that, you guys, the most problematic thing with an all digital future or streaming services for games is what are you going to do when you want to go back in 10, 15 years when the consoles are done and over with and the servers are shut down? Those consoles are going to be nothing but bricks. Let's take the Xbox 360, for example. Let's say that when that console came out in 2005, that was the end of physical media. There was no disk drive on the 360. Well, guess what? When the store shut down, like 6 months ago, that would be the end of the console. You'd never be able to play it ever again. Well, I guess unless you had a bunch of games digitally downloaded, but that would be the end of ever buying another game for your 360. So get fucked. And when you take that away, not only is the console a brick, but say like I'm a big retro guy, so I love to go into retro game stores and I like to pick up like a handful of like old games, like old 360 games for a couple bucks a piece. I'll usually go in and come out with 10, 15 games. And I like to buy a lot of my games used on eBay. If the 360 had been all digital, I would have not been able to do that all these years that I've been doing it. So that's another problem. But I think, like I said, we're past the point of no return. Buckle your seatbelts, brace for impact, because I think the console after the 2027 release is going to be all digital. So the time for avoiding this has passed, unfortunately. I tried to warn you guys for so long. So we're no longer just rearrange. We're at the point where we're just rearranging the chairs on the Titanic. We're no longer within range to steer the ship away. So, what can we do then to try to win this battle in the long run, even though it looks like we're going to suffer a couple short-term defeats? Well, we decide what happens with these game consoles because we're the consumers. So let's say that the next Xbox does come out and it is all digital. Well, guess what? We just don't buy it. And when the numbers tank, then Microsoft, well, if their next console tanks, they'll just say, okay, we're done making hardware. And they'll go to just the Xbox as a service model that they've been talking about for years. But from that point, we all unsubscribe from Game Pass. We unsubscribe from Xbox Play Anywhere, and we unsubscribe from PC Game Pass. And then their revenue is completely cut off, and they're just dead in the water. And another thing we can do right now, actually, is from now on, when games come out, you go out and buy the physical copy. I know that might be hard for some of you guys when Game Pass is like, what, 10, 15 bucks a month? And you can just download the games day one instead of going out and paying 70 bucks. I know that's kind of a hard pill to swallow, but it's worth it in the long run. You save money in the long run. You get more value out of the game in the long run. You have more consumer rights in the long run if you just buy the game on disc. And not only that, but what if the next Xbox console comes out and it has no disk drive? What about all the 360 games that I have bought over the years that are backwards compatible? You're telling me that those are completely junk now unless I play them on an actual 360? And since we're on this ecosystem that just carries over from console to console, we've been on the same ecosystem since the Xbox One. So you're telling me that the next Xbox console won't play any of my Xbox One games that I've bought over the years? None of my Series X games I've bought over the years? Hell no to that. Hell no. I've got stacks of Xbox One, Series X, and 360 games all over my desk here that will be completely worthless. Thousands of dollars worth of games sitting in front of me right now that will be completely worthless if Microsoft goes through with this. So, guys, we have to band together because we have the power to stop this. If we all unsubscribe from these streaming services, if all of us boycott the next console if it's all digital, they will have no choice but to change course and give us physical media. My guess bet would be is that if we did protest the next Xbox console and we did unsubscribe, if the console had already came out and it was all digital, they would probably have to do what Sony did and just release like a disc drive, like an add-on on the side that just connects through like USB port. And then going forward, they would give us another physical media console. So you guys, that's where we're at right now. I'm going to be staying on top of all the rumors regarding the 10th generation of consoles. So make sure you guys are subscribed and you're watching out for any new videos that I post. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this topic, and I'll see you guys all next time.